lover's got humor. He's the giggle at a funeral, knows everybody's disapproval. I should have worshipped him sooner. If the heavens ever did speak, he's the last pure mouthpiece. Every Sunday's getting more bleak, a new poison every week. We were born sick, I heard them say. My church offers no absolutes. He says worship in the bedroom. The only heaven I'll be sent to is when I'm alone with you. I was born sick, but I love it. Command me to be well. Amen. 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 Take me to church. I will worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. Take me to church. I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. If I'm a pagan of the good times, my love is the sunlight to keep the God on my side. He demands a sacrifice to drain the whole sea. Get something shiny, something meaty for the main course. There's a fine-looking high horse. What you got in the stable? We've got a starving faithful. That looks tasty, that looks plenty. This is hungry work. Take me to church. I'll worship like a god at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. Take me to church. Oh, at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. No masters or kings when the ritual begins. There is no sweeter innocence than our gentle sin. In the madness and the soil of that sad earthly scene, only then am I human, only then am I clean. Take me to church. I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. Take me to church at the shrine of your lies. So you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Director of Public Relations or a $2.99
is available only at the
term. There's no alternative.
They made up their minds and they started packing. They left before the sun came up that day. An exit to eternal summer slacking. could see the road that they walk on is painted gold. It's always summer, they'll never get cold. They'll never get hungry, they'll never get old and gray. You can see the shadow wandering off somewhere. They won't make it home, but they really don't care. They wanted the highway, they're happy there today.
Actually think about it. Man, when those friends of mine turned on me, I was so fucking angry at those pricks. And then I tried really hard to do the whole forgiveness thing. And maybe I've come around to the point where I could say, I'd really like to put a bullet in that guy's head. I'd really like to see him beg for mercy and then put a bullet through his head. But it doesn't keep me up at night. It is what it is. He's got it coming. Somebody's going to give it to him someday.
All right, Chad, how we doing tonight? How we all doing? How y'all motherfuckers doing? That's right, I got it coming. I got a bullet coming in my head. You heard it. You heard it from the bisexual king of Canada. Oh, buddy. Oh, so we got the dog here. He wanted to make a whole bunch of noise. As soon as I sat down, as soon as I put the headphones in, he was like, oh, is it chewy time? So he's going to sit with me. He's going to sit on my lap, even though he doesn't like that. Because if he wants to run his mouth. Oh, now he's going to pant. Now he's going to cry a little bit. Oh, really? Is that so, bud? Life is hard, isn't it? All right. That's right, chat. Better get the vaccine or else. You better get vaccinated, all right? Joe Biden's, his patience is wearing thin, all right? You get on this. Patience is wearing thin. You're really just going to make a whole bunch of noise over here, aren't you? So, that was a little clip from our friend of the show, Davis Rainey, talking about how he'd really like to put a bullet in my head. Because I said mean things to him on the internet. And that hurt his feelings. Hurt his feelings a lot. And he's still mad about it. As of May, he's still fucking mad about it. Oh, Davis. Oh, I'm sorry. Leo. Don't let me dead name you. Don't let me dead name you there. You've transitioned into a beautiful butterfly. Yeah, a Leo. Because, he wanted to name himself after his favorite Ninja Turtle. I don't know. I was more of a Raph or Don man myself, but to each his own. You're just going to really run your mouth, aren't you? You're going to run your mouth and protest. Somebody says at least some parents are going to meetings to challenge critical race theory more than any trad right LARPing warrior will do. I guess. I don't know, man. Maybe this isn't the best feeling to have. Oh, you're really gonna have a hissy fit over here. Starting to cry a little bit. Hang on a second, Chad. Hang on a second. Why don't you, buddy, go back to bed? If you didn't want to.
Have you heard of Jesus?
Go back to bed. See if that'll keep him quiet. I doubt it. I doubt it. He's probably going to pester me for a you-know-what, but we'll see. Looks like we had a super chat while I was dealing with the misbehaved hound there. Tom Bombadil sends $5 and says, I instigated the whole Free Folk saga because gay ops in Echoes is in my blood, if you know what I mean. Did you? Tom Bombadil says he's the one that got Davis to join a pagan cult. So he says Leonardo was the alpha leader, was he not? Yeah, but wasn't Raph the Sigma of the group when you get right down to it? When you get right down to it. I don't know, man. Davis, I didn't ruin your life, okay? You ruined your life. I laughed at you while you did it. Oh, you are really just not gonna fucking leave me alone, are you, dog? You're not getting a rawhide. I'm not giving you one. We're breaking this fucking habit tonight. I'll switch your head around 180 before you. You're not going to demand shit from me. You already had one today, too. Anyways, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. You know, like, just... Like, we haven't covered... Our old buddy Leo on here in a while. And I mean, part of that is because he hides. Because, you know, he's putting the secret in Secret King. You know, he puts up fucking podcasts and then deletes them immediately and hides them on formats that nobody's fucking heard of so that nobody will see it. Then, you know, he fucking locks up his Twitter account like a bitch. So, I don't know. I mean, there's not much to cover. He hasn't had any spectacular meltdowns, mate. But also, I mean, I could dig up, like, old stuff of his and we could dissect it, but I don't want to. Part of it is kind of we beat that topic to death for a bit, but also, like, I'm not mad at Davis. I'm even kind of past most of the point of laughing. I kind of just feel bad for him. Like, there's still a part of me that wants to, like, reach out to him and be... I mean, it would be fruitless. And I think he's blocked me on everything anyways, like a bitch. But... And just be like, dude, what are you doing? You know you don't have to do any of this, right? You know you're not 14 anymore, and you don't have to... convinced that we could make fun of that podcast somebody sent me, by the way. He goes in there about how, like, talking about soy boys with pretty beards and how he wants to cuddle them, and then he's going on about, like, how pretty he is, and it's like, okay, champ, all right. Like, we could have some fun, but I feel bad for him, man. Like, I ain't where I'd like to be in life, sure. But I wouldn't trade places with him for all the maple syrup in Canada. I don't know. Like I said, it just doesn't have to be this way, man. You could just stop being a fag. I don't know what else to say. Like, stop acting like that. Stop acting like a 14-year-old that's very concerned about proving how cool you are. Stop trying to prove how cool you are all the time. Like, it's just... Nobody cares. Forney in the chat said, fuck yes, Arini talk. I mean, what do you want, you know? He wants to shoot me. He wants me to beg for mercy. I'm sorry to break it to you, Davis, but you're not my type. You know? I mean, I'm not above being on my knees begging for mercy, if you know what I'm saying. But you're not the type that would make me do that, okay? That type would be a little bit more ginger, not so much with the Y chromosome. That'd be the type that can get me on my knees begging for mercy. You know, oh, I'm gonna shoot. Like, I'd still call you a fag. Like, what do you? I'd be like, look at a fag gonna shoot me because he can't take mean words on the internet. That'd be my last words. You think I'm afraid to die? Motherfucker, there's a lot of things in this world I'm afraid of. There's a lot of things I'm downright a coward about. Death ain't one of them. I kind of want that sometimes. So yeah, that ain't gonna work, champ. This is John Waters / campy aristocrat act is old. Ooh, damn. Damn. Chat's on fire today. That's right, chat. Us commoners in our jobs. But yeah, Davis, I don't know. You can jack off about having me on my knees at your mercy all you want, buddy, but I don't know. You're not my type. Sorry to disappoint you. But I mean, you could also like stop, Davis. You don't have to do all the stuff you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could. Tom Bombadil sends $5. I'm still believing the band will get back together and save the West. That's right. We're gonna assemble the Avengers and save the West. We just Tom Bombadil's gonna be like Nick Fury. He's gonna just show up at all our places with an eye patch. I'm assembling a team. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. But no, I just stop, dude. I just stop, Davis. Go get a job. Go write. I mean, I'm working on a writing project. I should be working on that right now instead of bullshitting with y'all. But I'm working on that. Weren't you gonna make a trilogy out of that fucking Fallout fan fiction you wrote? I mean, whatever. If you ask Matt nicely, he might publish. I don't know, man. But yeah, dude, just do Canadians even have guns? Yeah, I guess he's gonna shoot me with his crossbow. But yeah, somebody sent that to me, and we're like at about the 2 hour and 20-minute mark. Davis starts in on you, so I'm listening to it, and it actually was a little further than that. He's going on about how he wants to cuddle with men with pretty beards and sorts of other stuff like that, and then I want to. Oh, and he starts in on like Common Filth about how he was mad that Common Filth believed all the lies. Look, Common Filth never believed me. Common Filth was always pretty neutral, but Common Filth did make it clear that your pagan cult that you joined was not something he approved of. I'm sure Common Filth doesn't approve of a lot of... I never understood why Common Filth remained my friend as long as he did. I mean, he may still consider me a friend. I don't know. He sort of vanished completely off the internet. But, I mean, I'm a degenerate pervert. I don't know why Common Filth wasn't ready to burn me at the stake. I always liked Common Filth. But I was always just a little amazed he liked me. But then again, I'm always kind of amazed anybody likes me. I sure wouldn't if I was anybody else. If I met somebody just like me, I'd hate that motherfucker. But I don't know. Just stop, dude. You could just stop. Nobody's making you act this way, dude. Just stop. Just knock it off. Stop acting like, finish your books. Your Fallout fan fiction. Stop trying to prove to everybody how fucking righteous
Have you heard of
cool
Jesus?
you are and shit like that. It's just, come on. Oh, Terror House Radio has donated $5. It says Davis Arini is too forward to a. I'm sorry. Davis Arini is too poor to afford Terror House's Based Con book sale. All our ebooks are 99 cents. Sale ends Wednesday. Buy 5 books, and I'll have broken even on this tip. Arini has to suck dicks to afford this sale, but you don't. TerrorHousePress.com. Jesus. Okay. But yes, you should all you guys should buy all the fine books at Terror House Press, especially since I will hopefully have a book there under a pen name. See, it won't be under Chris Bedglov or Bedglov or Carl Retzloff or anything like that. So it'll now, granted, anybody who reads it will probably be able to guess I wrote it if you're familiar with me. But I'm not doing it for attention, whatever. I have a Twitter for the pen name. I've never said it on here. Somebody in the chat asked if I read Razor Fist book, The Long Moonlight. I have not. But apparently the chat says it's pretty good. So I guess, if you're looking for book recommendations, Eldritch fan in the chat suggests Razor Fist book. Tom Bombadil donates $5. It says, Matt Forney is a patriot. All right. Wow. So he said, did you check out Razorfist reading of Old Shadow Pulp? It's great. Dude should go into audiobook narrating. Well, maybe he should talk to the fine folks at Terror House. I believe they need audiobooks read. And Razorfist does have a great voice. No getting around that. I don't know. He might be doing audiobooks for Teddy Spaghetti's publishing company. I don't know. Who knows? I believe he's working with Teddy Spaghetti these days. Who, by the way, had his blog taken down. But you can go to voxday.net, and that's where his blog is now. But yeah, Blogspot shut him down. But yes, you should all check out all the fine books at Terror House and continue to do so. For when my Misty Bulbasaur Femdom fanfiction gets published there. Why are you still making noise over there? Stop making noise. Stop. Bane of my existence. Anyways, what? So, this week we lost Norm. I did a little stream during the week that night, I think, talking about losing Norm Macdonald. That was sad. That bummed me out. We were watching some Norm Macdonald clips. It actually got shut down partway through, and I just deleted it. I was only live for like 10, 15 minutes, something like that. But we were watching some Norm Macdonald goodness, like when he was live on The View and called Bill Clinton a murderer, stuff like that. Just great stuff. Norm was a fucking genius. Norm would... You can't sing the guy's praise enough. And he was a Christian, too, I come to find out. So it says, wow, a Blogspot bug. Didn't know there were still successful artists using that format. Well, I mean, if you want to throw that label upon Teddy Spaghetti, I suppose. But yeah, man, old Norm. We lost Norm. He's doing stand up in heaven now. God bless him. And I don't know, man. I've always been one to say, like, don't get attached to celebrities. They're all scum, But I gotta say, it kind of stung a little when Norm died. Guy was battling cancer for 9 years, and just didn't say anything. Didn't make a big deal out of it. None of that. But yeah, Norm was a treasure. The only other time I kind of remember it stinging a little when a celebrity died was when Stan Lee died. But even that one, not as much, because Stan Lee was like 147 years old. You know what I mean? It's like, but Norm was like 61 years old, man. This is at least one funny man in heaven. And not a lot of funny Christians. And not. Because you got to be irreverent to be funny. You gotta not give a fuck, okay? Comedy can't be safe. Can't be worried about being offensive or any shit like that. Let's see what else this week. Oh, Nicki Minaj was going off about the vaccine on Twitter. That was fun. You know, and of course all the leftists, you know. We want a bunch of women of color voices until they disagree with us. So, you know, they were shutting her down. And look, do I particularly believe the story of Nicki Minaj's friend's cousin whose balls got really swollen after the vaccine? I think she's full of shit. But I also think all the other vapid airhead celebrities that they're getting to push the vaccine are full of shit. But yeah, the Nicki Minaj memes were very funny. And, you know, I can't say I was ever a big fan of Nicki Minaj. I mean, those Starships is a banger. I'll give her that one. And the Babylon Bee is pretty funny. I'll give you that, chat. I'll give you that. You know, there's just a certain stripe of religious person, and it's not just in Christianity, it's in all religions. It's in the religion of woke. It's in the SJWs that are just humorless fucks. And you know, they're usually the ones that become the big sign of whatever religion, because they're just the loudest. I mean, you know, all the preachers that wanted to ban this or that book or video game because it hurt their pussy, or were trying to say that Teletubby was gay because it had a triangle in its head, or dumb shit like that. Those are all the ones that get paid attention to, in part because the media wants to focus on them, but also because they're just the loudest. So he said Nicki Minaj doxed a journalist and sent her fans to arrest her, which was pretty awesome. Well, I disavow that, of course. Of course. But it is pretty funny. I can disavow something and think it's funny. Like, I disavowed Nick Fuentes getting thrown off Twitter, and I thought it was funny. Yeah, so I can disavow doxing a journalist and also think it's funny. I can disavow doxing on principle, but also recognize that most journalists are pieces of shit and bad things happening to them is funny. The Terror House radio ad that's talking about Davis Arini sucking dick. Honestly, though, Matt, you should advertise it some places. I think you had mentioned something about Terror House you were looking at. You know what? I would say you ought to give it a shot advertising on Revenge of the Sith. And look, I'm not officially associated with them in any way. I don't know those guys. I just listen to their stuff, and I think there's a right-leaning audience there that isn't uber political and is actually looking for, you know, entertainment that isn't fucking paused and all. So, yeah, give it a shot. I don't know. Maybe, you know, you ask them and their price is too high. I don't even know what they charge, you know. You know, maybe on Razor Fist or Sticks podcast you could advertise too. I mean, you're free to send me super chats and have me pimp your books too, but, you know. So he says Nicki Minaj should have been in one of those pornos with the guys with Confederate flag shirt. What is this? Nicki Minaj should have been in one. Is that like a common thing? I'm not even trying to play innocent. I don't think I've ever really seen like pornos where guys are wearing Confederate flag shirts. I think that's a new one to me. I can't think of a porno where a dude was wearing a Confederate flag shirt. And I've watched far more porn than I care to admit. Eldridge fan says, I got a Johnson & Johnson shot Tuesday. Found out I had a comorbidity I didn't know about, so I was more at risk from the coof than I thought. At least J&J doesn't have mRNA cat. Look, man, if you want to get the fucking vax, get the vax. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not giving you medical advice here on the YouTube. I'm not a doctor. If you want to get the vax, get the vax, you know. Talk to your doctor, look into it, and make your own fucking decision. You know? So he says Ralph Killstream would be a good one as well. Yeah, that would probably also be a decent place to advertise. Somebody says you do just appear when we talk about porn. Matt Forney, the go-to guy with the information here, says there's a porn site called Cumbang, which is about black girls getting gangbanged by white guys in Confederate t-shirts. Don't ask me how I know this. Okay. There's a couple of things I wanted to say, but I don't know. Susan might not care for those things, so we'll just leave that at that. So, Cumbang is where black girls get banged by white guys in Confederate t-shirts. So there you go. Sagan Chief says, advertise on ROTC, Nick Rekieta, EVS, Sticks, Razor Fists, etc. Some you can just send advertising super chats. Others you have to talk to them. Well, I mean, you could send super chats on probably all of them. They'd have to read it. They might not appreciate that. But, you know, I don't think they're going to break the sacred social covenant of reading a super chat. But they might not appreciate that. But it probably would be more effective to pay for a live read. I would guess, at least. So people in the chat are saying J&J is safe, old school vax. J&J has minor risk, but all vax do. Okay, so chat seems to be saying J&J is the way to go. If you want to get the vax, J&J is the way to go. I will say this, though. If you want to get the vax, like I said, do it because you feel you want to get the vax. Don't let these dirtbags bully you into it. So he says Sticks doesn't take ad money, but not sure about supers. So he says, will this site be a replacement for Wood Rocket for lolcow watching? Well, I don't think I can watch actual porn on YouTube. Like, we can't just watch actual porn on here. Like, Wood Rocket is interviews with porn stars. Like, Cumbang is an actual porn site. So I can't just watch porn on... We can't just watch porn on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that's not going to fly. Oh, what is it called? Cumbang? Cumbang's format sounds like a terror house brick. It's a weird name, too. Like, the name, I shouldn't say weird. The name doesn't really tell you what it's about. You'd think it'd be like, you know, I don't know. Of course it's owned by Dog Fart. Of fucking course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Yeah, man, you're right. That is... The tagline for it is gangbanged by rednecks. Oh, man. Well, there you go, guys. If you're looking to watch black girls get gangbanged by rednecks, then you go to cumbang.com and get your 99-cent membership. That's got to be like a 1-day thing? Yeah, 1-day trial is 99 cents. 3 months, $16.66 a month, which you got to pay for 3 months. So there you go, chat. Cumbang. Oh, you know what? Apparently, if you get a subscription, you get access to all the dog fart sites if you get a subscription. Which, Jesus, they have a lot of sites. Yeah, they got blacks on blondes. They're the watching my mom go black guys. We fuck black girls. How is that different than cum bang? Isn't that the same thing? Okay, we fuck black girls is just also white dudes fucking black girls. I'm not really sure. I guess there's no Confederate t-shirts in that one. Black meat, white feet. That's the funniest one on here, though. That is the funniest one. That one I had heard of before. That was fucking. I sent a super chat to Revenge of the Cis Guys one time. One of those ones where it's like you're sponsored by a porn site, and I used that one. And Merce just after Royce read it, Merce just shakes his head and goes, "That is very specific." So he said these companies will have edited clips on YouTube. That's how I found out about 10-inch Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay, well. Terror House prompt. Nicki Minaj versus Richard Spencer on Cumbang. Richard Spencer's probably pro-vax, too, so. Let's see. People talking about the vax. Let's see. Black meat, white feet. Is that more for guys or girls? Well, I don't know. I guess if you like interracial and foot fetish, I guess. I don't know. I don't know exactly who specifically needs to watch a black dude get a foot job from a white chick. I don't know. I think maybe at that point you're just your taste is getting a little too niche. maybe you've had enough porn at that point. If that's specifically what you have to go for now. It's not even like really fucked up like the watching my mom go black one. It's just like Mersh said, Jesus, that is very specific. I mean, a foot fetish this day and age, that's basically fucking wholesome. That's basically baseball and apple pie at this point. Oh, lordy. So he says, remember Celebrity Deathmatch on MTV? We could put real celebrities in there like Nicki Minaj. I do remember that. That was a funny-ass fucking show. They started doing that as like halftime shows during the Super Bowl, and then it just became a regular show. But yes, I do remember Celebrity Deathmatch. It's actually where I first heard of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Because he was a character in that. I don't know if he did the voice or not. But that character appeared, I guess, as like an announcer or something. But I didn't really watch wrestling. But so I had no idea who the fuck he was. Azalea Rosa says, just came in as Bedglov is all, you watch too much porn, it's too specific, and foot fetishes are wholesome, baseball and apple pie. Well, those are all very out of context quotes. But yes, Azalea, you missed it. Matt Forney introduced us to this great porn site called Cumbang, in which you can watch black girls get gangbanged by white guys in Confederate flag t-shirts. It's very based. It's very based in red-pilled. what a world we live in. What a fun world we live in. But enough about Becklov's Tuesday night. That's right, Chad. Get my Confederate flag t-shirt. That should be the tagline for comeback. Instead of rednecks banging black girls, it should just be based in red pilled. When they come on her face, he quotes FBI crime statistics. Oh, Lordy. Makes her call him Massa. So he says abandoning your bloodline is very based, red-pilled, and advancing the movement. Yeah, I guess an alt-right thing would be white guys and Asian girls. I guess, or better yet, it would just be white guys banging each other. That would be the alt-right one. Just go find a gay porn site that doesn't allow black guys on there, and you've found the alt-right. Just fucking WeBangCatBoys.com. That's right, chat. What have you done for the movement? I didn't see you banging any black chicks in a Confederate flag t-shirt. My bloodline is mostly trioxin and whiskey at this point. Isn't trioxin the fucking thing that made the zombies in Return of the Living Dead? Outage fan thinks, I think the vax is starting to hit me, turn into a vax evangelos. Wear your mask, you filthy heathens. So he said, no, really, I thought you were saying it was the alt-right making the website when you said it was based in red pill. No, it's not the alt-right. I don't believe the alt-right runs the dog fart company. Yeah. I don't know, though. I'm sure a lot of them have subscriptions there, but I don't think they own it. Somebody says, where can we see the Richard Spencer in Japan video? I don't know. It sounds like the worst anime I've ever seen. But yeah, I couldn't tell you what Richard Spencer is up to anymore. Don't pay attention to how is it Forney says Richard Spencer. I missed when Forney did the fucking alt-right like fucking gossip streams. Those were great. Steve Jerky said, we must secure a future for oddly specific porn sites. Oh. I dream of a world where all porn sites are very, very niche. Watch for Spencer to join Antifa. I mean, when you have Nicki Minaj, thrown off Twitter because she said the vaccine makes your balls swell, I mean, who knows, Spencer is pro-vaccine passport. Oh, Lordy. That's something special. So is everybody enjoying Halloween season? It's Halloween season right now. I don't know if you knew that, but Halloween season starts September 1st. And then once November 1st comes around, then it's Christmas season. I don't know anything about no Thanksgiving. I don't know what that is. Spencer joining Antifa, working within the system. Wasn't there a goon rally today? I saw a bunch of people on Twitter posting memes. I have a meme in the meme scroll about it. Like, it was just nothing but feds, apparently. This very obvious feds, like, just not even trying. Chad says, show me your papers and your feet. Oh, boy. So he says, Thanksgiving is a spook? I don't know about that. I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but I'm not a fan of Thanksgiving. I'm no fan of it. I don't like football. I'm indifferent at best to most of my extended family. And I don't care for that country kitchen cooking. So there's not a lot for going on Thanksgiving that's up my alley. Oh, man. Yes. Like maybe if Thanksgiving was get together with my friends and eat tacos and watch hockey, maybe then I'd feel a little different about it. But, Forty says the salt right doesn't do anything, but that protest today was glowing. Yeah, that's what I heard. Somebody says, been watching kill counts on the Dead Meat channel. He's redoing the Friday 13th reviews. The host is an SJW, but lots of good behind the scenes info. Yeah, there's a show called, I guess, Scaredy Cats. And the guy that hosts it, he says his name is Scaredy Matt. I don't know, but he does a lot of horror reviews. And, I mean, he's a shit lib, and every once in a while he'll whine about problematic shit or dumb stuff like that. But he reviews horror stuff, which I like. And he has great fucking delivery. He is pretty fucking funny. So. Watch some vids of the Goon Rally. I don't know. I don't want to hop up on some fucking Fed radar any more than I probably already have. But yeah, I don't want to. So he says, do Italian and Mystery Science Theater 3000 Turkey Day on Thanksgiving. I mean, I'd love to. Like, look, it's at relatives' houses and all that I tend to go, and it's just, I want to watch football. And, I mean, there's some decent stuff, but most of the food there, it's like, I'll pass, But yeah, I don't really want to watch football. Usually like a James Bond marathon or some shit on TV. I'd rather watch. I don't even have TV now, so if I was at home, I guess fire up the streaming service. The What If cartoon is all right on Disney Plus, by the way. The Marvel What If cartoon. Couple episodes have been sort of duds. But like the one with Doctor Strange was kind of a banger, and I enjoyed the zombie one. That was fun. I saw like somebody on one of these comic book sites complaining like, how come so many of these episodes are downers and they and almost all of them end abruptly? And it's like, cool. Somebody's never read an issue of What If. All right. And they're writing for a comic book website. That's fucking fantastic. About the What If show. Biden will be watching all of our bank accounts. Well, I mean, that assumed Biden's even knows who he is on any given day. So he said leftover turkey cran sandwich, pretty fire. I guess, man, you enjoy it. Not for me. It's not for me. He says, Thanksgiving and Christmas, my mom usually makes Cajun gumbo soup with a whole chicken. That sounds pretty good. I usually go to my aunt's Christmas night for dinner, and it's, yeah, again, it's that country kitchen stuff. She's not a particularly good cook either, but whatever. Christmas Eve, though, I always go to that Japanese place with my buddies and my dad. That's a fucking dinner I look forward to. In fact, the current box factory I'm at, I come to find out, they actually don't have Christmas Eve as a holiday. And I was talking to the boss. He says, yeah, a lot of times we work Christmas Eve, or we work at least till like half a shift. And I'm like, cool, you guys have fun with that. I'm not coming in. Why not? Because it's Christmas Eve, Ebenezer. I like this job. It's fine. But there's other jobs. I'll go find one. I'll go find another job on the 27th then. It's not fucking happening. I ain't missed that dinner since we started doing it in like 2004. I ain't about to now. Hell, we went last year when technically, according to the governor, that place should have been shut down. Thankfully, the based Asians that run it just said, fuck it, we're just going to keep it open. She says the Marvel Universe is now an entire what-if series. I don't know what's going on with a lot of current Marvel. I couldn't tell you. There's some decent stuff both at Marvel and DC, but obviously the overall direction is not particularly good. You know, it's funny. I was reading through. I got a trade paperback reprinting all the Bronze Age. I always forget comic fans. Bronze Age, by the way, is generally referring to like the 70s into the 80s, into about maybe the early 80s-ish. But anyways, the early Marvel DC crossovers they did 2 Spider-Man, Superman ones. They did a Batman Hulk one, and then they did an X-Men Teen Titan one. Now, when these companies do these crossovers, there's 2 ways to do it. Number one, you can do this sort of out-of-continuity story where we just act like these 2 things exist in the same universe, even though they don't. Those are just generally considered non-canon. Or you could do ones where it's like we have some sort of dimensional portal shenanigans and we acknowledge these things exist in very different universes and treat them as parallel universes to each other. Those actually could be considered canon. For example, Ghostbusters comic did a bunch of those that are absolutely canon to that series, referenced all the time. For whatever reason, though, these early Bronze Age ones just did them in the style like these things just exist in the same universe. And it always kind of seemed weird to me that they did that. Because, like, part of me, when I was starting to get it, I thought, well, maybe it was just, like keeping things simple. But no, parallel universes were very much a thing at both companies. In fact, the whole idea of the multiverse was, at the time at DC, a very, very central thing to DC's mythos. So I really don't know why they did them in that kind of style. But I was reading through that collection, and the first Superman Spider-Man is pretty good. The rest don't really hold up that much. I know a lot of people love to sing the praises of the X-Men Teen Titans one. I mean, it's alright. The second Superman Spider-Man is alright. The Batman Hulk one is alright. But it's funny, this trade is actually from 1991. It got a reprint in the 2000s, but the copy I have is the 91 edition, this trade paperback. And I thought to myself, man, it was $24.95 cover price. I was like, in 1991, that was pretty fucking pricey. I think a new comic in 1991 cost like $1 or $1.50. So I was like, what the hell is that in like today's money? In today's Joe Biden fun buck. So I whipped out the old inflation calculator. Apparently it's over $50. Yeah. But whatever. It's funny, you talk about those, the out of continuity crossovers. The Top Cow comics. Now, they're the ones that did Witchblade and The Darkness
And for a while, they did Tomb Raider comics. They were a subdivision of Image. Top Cow did a bunch of crossovers with stuff. And those crossovers are absolutely in continuity in Top Cow, even though they're the ones that just act like these things exist in the same universe. For example, they did a Batman Darkness crossover, which featured major character development moments for the character The Darkness that is then referenced throughout the Darkness series. Tomb Raider was just a part of this universe for a while, Lara Croft. And then the different crossovers they did that were, again, referenced in the regular series. They did a Witchblade JLA crossover. They did a crossover featuring Hulk. They did a Darkness Hulk, and then he did another one that featured Hulk, Doctor Strange, and Ghost Rider. They did crossover with Superman, Batman. So, weirdly enough, like, the entire JLA, Hulk, Ghost Rider, Doctor Strange, and Daredevil and Wolverine, and also Lara Croft, all just canonically exist in the Top Cow universe. Even if they can't reference them by name later, they continue to just reference them without actually saying the name. Comics are fucking weird. Somebody said, Professor Geek said multiverses are just a way to stealth deconstruct canon and genre. I wouldn't say that at all. I mean, it can be. You could do a lot of things with the idea of a multiverse. But for one thing, you could just do the idea of strictly scientific parallel universes, on the idea of one thing happened differently and how would that world shape up. And that could be very interesting to just explore alternate, come face to face with a version of yourself that took a different path. And then you can also do the ones where anytime you have a franchise that has existed for decades and has had multiple incarnations over different media, you can use the multiverse as a way to have play those different incarnations off of each other. A great example of that. There's a comic out right now. It's an indie comic. It's called Wrong Earth. And then it had like a little prequel series called Dragonfly and Dragonfly Man. But Wrong Earth is the main series. I think Wrong Earth Volume 2, like the second... I picked them up in trades. I think Volume 2 is coming out. There was Wrong Earth Volume 1 and then a prequel thing. And a Volume 2 is coming out. So technically the third, but whatever. But the premise of this is you have two versions of the same hero. On one Earth, it's called Earth Alpha. He's called Dragonfly Man. And then on the other Earth, Earth Omega, he's called Dragonfly. And one is like super, super, super campy universe. Like happy, fucking cheery, bright and colorful campy universe. And the other's like dark, grim and gritty universe. So it's almost like you took like campy Silver Age style superhero stuff and placed it right up against like late 80s dark, grim and gritty fucking grimdark shit. And the idea of this is that the two universes swap, or the two characters swap universes and have to deal with being, as the writer put it, he goes, imagine if the Adam West Batman and the Frank Miller Batman switched universes, And it's great. That is absolutely a cape shit book I really, really recommend. Like, pick up Wrong Earth Volume 1. I don't think you'd be disappointed. People in the chat are asking, in the meme slide, is that who the green-haired girl fighting Spider? Yes, that's from the Marvel and Capcom fighting games and all. That's Morgan from Darkstalkers. But yeah, multiverses kick ass, dude. There's a lot you can do with it. It's funny, at least for the longest time, the Marvel multiverse was based more on alternate histories, whereas the DC multiverse was based more on alternate versions, if that makes sense. For example, like, DC multiverse would be like, when it first came out, the DC multiverse was the Silver Age DC existing on one world and the Golden Age DC existing on another. And then, other worlds, you could count like all the Elseworld stories, like, Batman, Gotham by Gaslight and shit like that. Where it's sort of reimaginings of those characters in different settings or context. Whereas the Marvel multiverse, most of the parallel universes were, what if Spider-Man had saved Gwen Stacy, that sort of thing. Although in recent years they've done a little bit more, I guess you'd call them different versions. You got like Spider-Man India or the Mangaverse or the Noir universe, those kind of things. But no, I'm a sucker for parallel universe stories. Again, you can explore the history of a franchise that way, or you can just take a basic character and concept and bring them face to face with the road not chosen. I'm also just fascinated by the idea of there being parallel universes. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the multiverse shit. Bedglov, what Halloween season movies, TV shows do you watch every year? Well, if I'm going back into horror, my two standby franchises for horror would be Nightmare on Elm Street and Hellraiser. Nightmare on Elm Street is just a solid fucking series. Most of those movies are good. There's a couple of stinkers, but most of them are good. 1 and 3 are particularly good. Freddy vs. Jason is fucking fantastic. It's a gift from God that movie wasn't botched, given how retarded Hollywood can be with concepts like that. But Freddy vs. Jason is a fantastic movie. It's probably my favorite Jason movie. And then Hellraiser. Hellraiser has a lot dodgier a record than Nightmare on Elm Street, but Hellraiser has a much brilliant concept behind it. The actual mythos and concepts and themes of Hellraiser are fucking brilliant. Now, I'm not saying those movies are all great. A lot of them are outright fucking bad. Hellraiser 1, 2, and 3 are good. The one that starts in space, I don't think is that bad. I know it's a stigma for horror stuff to go to space, but Bloodlines, it's like starts in the future and then flashes back to the past and then the present day. It's actually pretty good. Hellseeker and Inferno are pretty good. The rest of them are pretty fucking rough. So I've never seen any of the Hellraisers. I very much recommend the Hellraisers if you haven't seen them. Holy shit, I recommend watching them. Like I said, 1 through 3, Hellseeker and Inferno are pretty damn good. I also love to watch Nightmare Before Christmas. That is a Halloween and a Christmas staple for me. And then a lot of times, if I'm getting in the Halloween spirit, I'll just dig into horror movies I ain't seen. You know what I mean? Somebody's talking about The Ring. Yeah, it's decent. But yeah, like I said, Nightmare on Elm Street, I adore. And the Hellraiser movies I recommend. Phantasm is an interesting series to get into if you've never seen it. It's fucking weird. Kind of all over the place. But I think it's mostly weird in a good way. Beetlejuice. Somebody recommended Beetlejuice. Yeah, Beetlejuice is a banger. If you've never seen Beetlejuice, you should fucking correct that tonight, if possible. Yeah, Beetlejuice kicks ass. They actually did a Ghostbusters versus Beetlejuice live show at Universal. I didn't get to see it because when I went to Universal back in the day, that was I went on a Sunday and they didn't do the live show on Sunday. Ghostbusters. That's another great movie to watch around Halloween time. Yeah, definitely. Paranormal Activity. You know, I never saw any of the sequels, but I got to say, the first Paranormal Activity, it stuck with me. Holy shit, man. Yeah, Paranormal Activity stuck with me. What else? What else? What else? Some other good ones. I mean, there's tons of great horror movies. Tons of great Halloween-themed movies. So he says, I found out to this day Beetlejuice is rated G. Are you kidding me? There's no way Beetlejuice isn't rated at least PG. That movie creeped the fuck out of me when I was little. Creepshow, that's another great one. Creepshow is awesome. Yeah, Creepshow 1 and 2 are good. Tales from the Dark Side movie, solid. Demon Knight, Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight, fan-fucking-tastic. Watch Demon Knight. And you know, Bordello of Blood's pretty damn good too. You will enjoy Bordello of Blood based on how much you enjoy. Oh fuck! Now I'm blanking on the name. What the fuck is the name of the guy that was in Bordello of Blood? It's a guy Razor Fist fucking idolizes and kind of ripped his speaking style off of. God damn. See, this is gonna bug me now. God damn it. Who the fuck was... What is that guy's name? I'm blanking on that guy's name, and it's going to fucking bug the shit out of me. I can't even wait for the chat to pick up here. What is... Blood. Okay, here we go. Dennis Miller. Thank you, Thank you, IMBD. God, that guy's name was like... I'm like, what? I'm like picturing the guy's face in my head. I'm like, what the fuck was that guy's name again? Reanimator, yes. Dennis Miller, yes. Thank you, Chad. Gremlins, another good movie. Beetlejuice is rated PG. I thought so. I thought there was no way that movie is rated G. I just recently watched The Void. That's a relatively new horror movie, but I recommend it. Definitely worth a watch. What else? What else horror movie wise? Oh, Pumpkinhead. If you haven't seen Pumpkinhead, give that a watch. Just the first one. Just the first one. Yeah, just the first one on that. The Human Centipede. I don't know about the Human Centipede. I mean, it's gross, but I don't know if it's. I guess it's worth seeing. Like, I guess I'm glad I saw it, but I don't feel the need to ever rewatch it. You know what I mean? Cube. Oh, I forgot about Cube. Cube kicks ass. Oh my God, watch Cube. If you haven't watched Cube, watch fucking Cube. I don't even want to spoil anything for you on Cube. I actually saw Cube. I saw it for the first time on TV, and I went into it completely fucking blind. Just flipping through the channels, and I happened to come to it when it was first starting. It was still pretty new. This was like 2000 when I stumbled on it. The movie came out in 97. I'm like, what is this? What's going on here? What's going on here? And then, I'm like hooked instantly. And again, I'm going into this blind. I look in the TV guide. Back then, we had a TV guide that actually came in the newspaper, and I flipped to that day. And I was like, what the fuck is on this channel? Cube. What the fuck? I never heard of this. Let's see. Night of the Demons we're seeing. Yeah, that's a decent one. Damn, there was one right on the tip of my tongue there I wanted to say, and then I got distracted. It'll come to me. It'll come to me, chat. It'll come to me. You know when I actually recommend seeing, it's not so much a horror, it's a bit of a horror comedy. But I legitimately like it, and I don't understand why people shit on it. Jennifer's Body. I'm giving a recommendation to Jennifer's Body for a Halloween movie. Yeah, I'm giving it a recommendation. I think Jennifer's Body is worth seeing. A lot of people shit on it, so you're going to have to, how much do you trust the Bedglov here? But, how much do you trust old Bedglov? I recommend Jennifer's Body. People are in the chat are saying Return of the Living Dead. Yes, I would say Return of the Living Dead 1, 2, and 3 are all worth watching. 3 gives me quite the fear erection. And if you just look at the cover, you'll know why. Someone says Halloween 3 over or underrated. Halloween 3 is good. I'm not actually a big fan of the main Halloween series. Just never, I can respect it. I can understand why people are into it. Never got me into it. Halloween 3, pretty damn fucking good, though. Drag Me to Hell is another decent Halloween movie. That's right, chat. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna give a recommendation to Jennifer's Body. A lot of people did not care for that movie a lot, and I think it was like Megan Fox is a star, and it was right when everybody was getting sick of Megan Fox. Everyone was hopping on the fuck Megan Fox bandwagon, you know. And I mean, I'd fuck her, but that's not the way I meant there. But everyone was just sick of her, like, to hell with Megan Fox, and it was right at that point when like she was right over the hill of everyone being sick of her. But yeah, Halloween 3 it's an interesting movie. I do recommend. I recommend Halloween 3 over any other Halloween movie. Freddy vs. Jason, I gotta give a recommendation. Freddy vs. Jason. I love Freddy vs. Jason. Let's see. First Critters. The first Critters movie I give a recommendation to. Let's see, what else horror movie wise? Trying to think here. I did mention The Void. Oh yeah, Pastor Tom was talking about Prince of Darkness recently. That's really good. I actually think of the Carpenter Doomsday trilogy, as it were. I think that's actually the best one. I know a lot of people would say The Thing. Yeah, Prince of Darkness edges it out a little bit for me. Oh, you know what? The Thing reminded me of remakes that are better than the original. The 80s Blob movie. Go watch the 80s Blob movie. I mean, you can watch the 50s one if you really have a tolerance for terrible 1950s acting. And the acting in that movie is atrociously bad. But yeah, watch the 80s one. Holy shit. Watch the 80s one. Let's see, what else horror movie wise? Trying to think. We talked about the Hellraiser ones. It's a big recommendation from me. You know what? I'm going to give a cautious recommendation to a Child's Play movie here. Now, Child's Play 1 is kind of worth watching. I say kind of. Most things about Child's Play 1 work, except for the little boy. Like, he is a terrible fucking actor. And I don't mean to pick on him because he was like fucking 7 or whatever when they fucking made that movie. Whatever. You know, you don't want to pick on a kid. But he's fucking awful in that movie. And a lot of weight is put on that pillar. And it really does lessen that movie. If you can get past his terrible performance, Child's Play 1 is pretty good.
Have you heard of Jesus?
Skip the sequels until you get to Curse of Chucky. Curse of Chucky is the first time Child's Play legitimately works in its horror elements. Completely. With no caveat. Like the first one, I got to give you the caveat of you got to look past this boy's performance. The kid's performance. Because it'll suck you out of the movie the whole fucking time. 2 and 3 are forgettable dog shit. The 4th and 5th one Bride and Son of Chucky, respectively. They don't even try to be horror movies anymore. They're like goofy ass fucking comedies. But Curse of Chucky is a genuinely solid horror movie. And I don't even think you need to be all that familiar with the rest of the movies to go into it. Like, if you have just a vague understanding of the mythos of Child's Play, you can go into Curse of Chucky. Like, here's what you need to know. There was a serial killer, and right before he died, he did a voodoo ritual to get his soul put in a doll. And now he's a serial killer with his soul in a doll. Boom, there you go. Go into Curse of Chucky with that, you're fine. So he says, you guys have given me a list that will last until Christmas, but I'm okay with it. Eldritch Fan donated $5 and says, watch The Secret of Imboka. I don't believe I've ever heard of that, but I'll look into it. Somebody says, I kind of like Bride and Seed of Chucky for all the hat tips. You know what? Both of them work for what they are. I'm just going to say that Curse of Chucky, though, is the first. That's actually why, because they rebooted Child's Play recently, which I didn't see the reboot, but that actually broke my heart, because while I haven't gotten around to seeing Cult of Chucky yet, Curse of Chucky, I was like, holy shit, they finally got this franchise truly on the rails. And then they have another movie after that, and then they just scrap it all for a reboot. That's sad. Like, you finally had it right. But I don't know. Maybe Cult of Chucky completely screwed the pooch. I don't know. I didn't see it. But I will say Curse of Chucky legitimately works as a horror movie. There is real fucking tension in that movie. It works. Let's see. Somebody says Manatee. Matinee. Is a love letter to Goofy Monster movies. Oh, that's the one with the giant ant, John Goodman. I haven't seen that in forever. I'll have to rewatch that. I sort of remember liking it when I rented it, but I was like, I don't know, 11 or something. Krampus is a good horror Christmas movie. Krampus is pretty good. You know what I actually saw when I was trying to find Krampus on Netflix a couple years ago? Something called Christmas Horror Anthology or something like that. Christmas Horror Story, something like that. But it's an anthology story of Christmas horror stories, and one of them involves Krampus. One of them involves Santa at the North Pole fighting zombie elves. I don't want to ruin it, but everything comes together in that movie fucking beautifully. It's by this company, 1E Entertainment, something like that. They're this company that specializes in mid-budget movies. They're actually the guys that did Iron Sky, the Moon Nazi movie. They do some great shit. So he says, after Bride of Chucky, there was one where he broke into a mental hospital. That's Cult of Chucky. I haven't seen that one. Curse of Chucky takes place in a house, in a single house. But Curse of Chucky is great. I cannot recommend that enough. It's the only Child's Play movie I've seen, with the caveat that I haven't seen Cult of Chucky and I haven't seen the reboot. The only one I've seen that genuinely works is a horror movie with no caveats. Christmas Horror Story, good stuff. Yes, that's the one. So yeah, I reckon. But you could save that for Christmas if you're looking for a Christmas movie. And I'm probably going to wrap this up here soon, chat. But, and I know Eldritch Fan, you did want me to watch it. We'll watch it next time. All right, champ? Because I'm going to wrap this up. Plus, I don't know, man. I'm kind of afraid to fire up videos right now, if I'm being honest. This computer's being touchy as shit. But I will make a note of that. We'll watch that at another time. Anyways, a couple of Christmas recommendations real quick. Because we're getting to that close to that season. As far as I mean, I'm already mostly done my shopping, so I'm already in Christmas mindset too. For Christmas, what you want to watch? The George C. Scott Christmas Carol, Scrooged, Chevy Chase's Christmas Vacation, Bad Santa. There's my Christmas list for you. Somebody says not to spam, but I really want to know if you've seen Night of the Demons. I believe I have, yeah. Demons is the one where they're in a movie theater and demons possess people, but it's like a virus. It's like through scratches and bites. It's kind of weird, but it's a good one. Night of the Demons is like, they were like in how, like they were all staying in a haunted house, and it's these like teenagers, and that's the one where like the chick's gets possessed and she's making out with the dude and she bites his tongue out of his mouth and stuff. Like, yeah, I've seen that one. But yes, I did see that one. I've watched a lot of horror movies. I'm a sucker for horror. I really am. Let's see. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to probably wrap this up. Somebody says Black Christmas any good? You know, I've never really seen any of the Black Christmases. I tried to watch like the mid-2000s one, and I got pretty fucking bored with it. Like 2000 horror movies are pretty rough. Like the aughts, whatever you want to call that decade, that's a rough time for horror. There's some gems out there, but man, there's a lot of movies from that decade I wish would get remade with like you know, one that I think is really good in concept, but it's a typical, I don't know if Eli Roth did it, but it feels like an Eli Roth movie. You know, the cinematography feels like an MTV Films movie, and every character is completely unlikable, so there's no tension. You don't give a shit if they live or die. But there's a movie called The Ruins. Now, the premise of this is, you know, the asshole college kids are in the jungles in South America, and like they're not allowed to go onto this old Aztec temple, like pyramid thing. But as soon as they step on it, now they're not allowed to leave. Like there's guys with guns who will shoot them if they try and leave, and they don't understand why. And the reason is there's this killer plant in there, and this plant is able to like vibrate and mimic voices and stuff to lure people in. And then once you get close enough to it, it like gets in you like a parasite and starts growing inside you and shit. The premise is interesting. Now, part of that is like, look, caveat, I'm a sucker for plant monsters. I have made that clear before. But there's some real body horror in this that is disturbing. The problem that why it doesn't work is that, again, it's that typical 2000s horror movie where everybody is a cunt. And therefore, I don't care if they live or die. You know, I'm happy to watch them die. That's not horror. I'm not scared for them. I can get a little bit scared if I think about the concept and think about if I was in that situation, but I don't feel empathy towards them because they suck. Which, again, constant problem with these sorts of movies at that time. I would love for that movie to get remade with a cast of characters I actually give a shit about their survival. Yes, we will watch The Secret of Mboka another time. Maybe tomorrow. I might stream again tomorrow night. But folks, if you enjoy the content I put out, do consider supporting the show. Streamlabs.com/thebetglov, paypal.me/thebetglov, and I'll try and remember to put an Amazon wishlist link down below if you're so inclined that way. Let's see. But that's about it for tonight, folks. I want to thank everybody for listening and thank everybody that donated. And Bedglov out.